We are synced up, baby. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Should you buy this lens? That's the question. Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you all again. Now, for starters, I've had this lens here for about 2 years. It came with my Canon SL2 that I'm using right now, and this is an 18-55mm lens. It's just the kit lens, the basic kit lens that comes with the Canon SL2. It's nothing fancy, no L series lens. It's just Canon's basic line. With that said, let's get into it. First off, I'd like to talk specs, as I usually do. This lens has a focal length from 18-55, obviously, and a max aperture of 4 to 5.6. It's not horrible, but it's not great. It's like kind of right in the middle for max aperture. So you should still be able to get somewhat of a nice smooth background. It's not going to be as nice as a nifty 50 or anything like that though. Moving on, we have lens construction. This lens contains 11 elements in 9 groups. That means basically there's 11 pieces of glass within this lens here, so that means 9 out of the 11 are connected to another piece of glass, and then there's just 2 just random extra pieces of glass in there. The diagonal angle of view on this thing at 18mm is 74 degrees, and at 55mm, so fully extended, is at 27 degrees. The focus adjustments you can make with this thing are autofocus and manual focus, so they're just the basic 2 that usually are on every lens. Along with the focusing adjustments is the closest focusing distance, which will be 9.8 inches or 0.25 meters. And the filter size that goes on this lens is a 58mm filter, so that can include anything from an infrared filter, ND filter, a polarizing filter. The dimensions of this are 2.7 inches by 3.33 inches or 68.5 millimeters by 84.5 millimeters. And the weight of this is 7.1 ounces or 200 grams. Finally, the price of this thing, it's gonna run you about $120.96 on Amazon, or on Canon, they have it listed for $200. Now, with all the specs listed, I'd like to get into my thoughts on this lens. And with every product out there, there are pros and cons. This is no exception. Now, as for pros, this, in my opinion, is a great beginner lens. If you don't know what lens to get with your first camera, the kit lens is always one of your best options because it's a good medium distance lens, great focal length. It's going to offer you a good range of aperture, and overall, if you just don't know where to start, I just recommend going with the kit lens, and in this case it's the 18-55. Another pro is that this thing is extremely quiet. Whenever I've shot anything on this lens, I've never heard it within the video itself while it's focusing. And the final pro is that this thing comes included with image stabilization. And that's a great feature considering the price of this lens, and also considering that it's the standard kit lens that comes with most Canon cameras. Now on to the cons. For starters, this thing feels super cheap. It's almost 100% plastic. It feels like it won't be able to take many drops before this thing breaks. Even the mount on the back of the lens is 100% plastic, and I don't think it feels super sturdy when I have it mounted on my camera. Another con is that this thing, the aperture is not super wide for a lot of pro or experienced photographers or videographers. So you're not going to get that super buttery background like I said with, for example, the 50mm. Once again, a 4 to 5.6, I mean, you can't really ask for much when you're only paying about $200 for a lens. And finally, the image quality. It's not amazing. It's nothing to be excited about. But once again, this is just the basic Canon glass here, the very low-end glass. It's no L series lens, so you can't really expect much. So here's my final opinion on it. If you're looking for a budget-friendly medium zoom lens, then I would say this one might be for you. However, I would recommend buying a different lens. I actually have one in mind, but I'm not going to tell you. You don't get to know. Not yet anyways. I'll talk about that more in a different video. All right, now I'm going to show you guys some photos and videos that I've shot with this thing. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I appreciate you guys all watching and staying to the end. If you'd like to check this lens out or go ahead and go buy it, I'm gonna put the links below, both the Canon and Amazon links. If you have any questions about the lens, feel free to comment me below and I will try and answer them the best I can. And if you wanna see more tech videos just like this one, subscribe by clicking right here. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.